All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to our live show as we're coming to you from Cisco live in Amsterdam. My name is Rob Boyd, and we have got so much going on. Of course, as usual, a couple of quick housekeeping items. Don't forget to communicate with us. Cisco hashtag # for my old friends, hashtag Cisco Live EMEA. Everything will be on demand, including the conversation I'm about to have. This is exciting. I didn't know I was going to get a chance to do this until just recently. But please welcome Dave Malik to our studio set. How are you doing, sir?
Excellent.
So this is fun. I didn't know I'd get a chance to talk with a Cisco fellow. You're in CX. A lot of interesting things going on here, and I'm always glad to get your perspective, but I wonder if you could first set, just to understand what a Cisco fellow is, maybe, and specifically your version of a Cisco fellow and what you're involved in, because you've been with Cisco for almost as long as Cisco's been Cisco. But do you mind introducing your role in that fashion?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been with Cisco 20 plus years.
Wow.
And I'm in CX Americas. I drive the technology and architecture direction for the organization. And we're working with the largest enterprise and service provider customers in the transformation journeys as they're really moving everything into the digital era.
So it's really, and maybe it's overly obvious when we talk about it being as part of Cisco CX, but you are focused, it's an interesting and healthy contradiction to what Cisco is maybe primarily known for, I think of gear and software and things. So what are you doing differently, and when we focus on the customer experience, how are you approaching that? What's important right now?
Yeah, it's a very good question. A couple of things around solutions are extremely important to our clients.
Yeah.
And driving business outcomes as well. Most importantly, as customers are buying and procuring and implementing and designing their infrastructures, they're getting more and more complex as well. So we're bringing simplicity into the picture of our solutions going out and that are driving business impact, but more importantly, working with our partners and integrating third-party solutions as well. So we're not actually building platforms, that's the engineering teams. We're actually architecting, solutioning, delivering, and making sure our customers can derive value from these systems that are driving their businesses.
Where does that begin to change shape? Because it feels like, yes, it's always an important time to take care of customers, but it does feel like the environment has shifted in a major way over the last few years. And in a good way, it's accelerated some things that we all really care about. At the same time, it's also accelerated probably some pain for customers, because you mentioned solutions, which is purposefully to be contrasted with that of product. It's about, which means that you're approaching it from a focus on the customer, what is their desired outcome.
That's correct.
And so, but how do you go about doing that? You must have some type of an open loop with customers that you then are executing on to a certain extent, and that balance between leading them to water and then asking them to drink. I don't know.
Excellent question. It's like, where do you start? You really start with a problem statement, where they're heading to solve. And more importantly, then we deliver use cases. Every problem is tied to a use case or multiple use cases. And then we decompose those use cases with solutioning, frameworks, and architectures. And then eventually, you put the products behind how to deliver those solutions, whether it is Cisco and plus our third party. But it really starts with a problem set. And depending how diverse the problem set is, it will require various different types of solutions and success motions and adoption motions, which is what we also drive as well, to making sure our customers having a delightful experience on what they purchase from Cisco is actually working for them.
Yeah.
But more importantly, they're realizing value.
That sounds easy in theory only. I don't even know if it sounds easy in theory, to be honest. I kind of think I said that wrong. But you mentioned something to me when we were in preparation for this about service as code, if I'm remembering that correctly.
That's correct.
I apologize for being direct on that as the statement, but I want to understand why that's an important phraseology, and what does that mean?
Yeah, if we look at the term infrastructure as code, it's been in the industry for over a decade, component by component, and Cisco and other suppliers are exposing, programmability APIs.
Yeah.
We're in an API-first economy.
Yeah.
But our customers don't think product by product. They think about delivering services to their endpoints, or their consumers, or their operators. So when you're looking at a service that is end-to-end, it can go across multiple domains. Campus, branch, data set, or WAN, because typically services are rendered. Look at hybrid work as a classic example. You may have a branch office user or a home user going over an SD-WAN infrastructure and accessing an application that sits in the data set or in the public cloud. So you have multiple domains. And they may be using different types of services. So how do we measure and implement that service end-to-end? But more importantly, As we live in a hyper-distributed economy, scale is becoming super important, specifically with IoT devices. In order to do anything at scale, it has to be automated and orchestrated. And now what we're doing is we're codifying a lot of these services. A popular one happens to be segmentation, which is a boardroom conversation. How do we drive security? And imagine running those segments from a security perspective across domains. If you did it one by one, it would take you months. But more importantly, if you're codifying it and it's software driven, then we can do large-scale automation to have 100% precision, as an example. So we're taking infrastructure code to the next level and codifying an entire service for our service providers and our enterprise customers.
Okay, so what I love is, and I apologize because we're going to have to run as we go into the show, but there's a foundational level of, we've talked about security being foundational to everything we do, but you were emphasizing the importance of observability kind of being that foundational element that becomes very, very critical. So I love what you guys are doing, and I appreciate the chance to speak with you as well. Hey guys, I'll go to you. Sorry, you were chasing me there back in the studio. Either way, I want to thank Dave Malik for taking the time to speak with us and talk a little bit about what direction's going. We could talk much longer, but I want to throw it over to Cedric right now in Studio B, where he's got a guest.
Yes, Rob, thank you so much. I'm still here at Cisco Live. We're still all in, and I'm really excited about this topic. We're going to talk a little bit more about our networking academy, and I'm so excited to be joined by Guy Dietrich, who is our Senior Vice President and Chief Innovation Officer. Guy, how are you?
I'm very well, Cedric, thank you.
How is it to be here at Cisco Live in EMEA?
It's so nice to be back. It's been 3 years, and to be able to come back and see all of the old friends and make all of the old acquaintances and make new ones as well, it's just spectacular.
Absolutely. So yesterday we heard Wendy talking about the skills gap and so on, and there were some announcements in the keynotes. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so Networking Academy is celebrating its 25th year. This is the program that originally was started to train up that first generation of networking specialists that could work on Cisco equipment, that could install it, maintain it, and innovate with it. Well, after 25 years, we've trained up 17.5 million students globally in 190 different countries. As part of our 25th anniversary, we have just announced that we're going to be aiming to train another 25 million students over the next 10 years. And as part of that, we're going to be training 10 million over the next 10 years right here in EMEA.
Great, because I love this, because I was part of Networking Academy as part of my university degree. So I did actually some cybersecurity courses on there. And also what's really great is that to celebrate this 25th year anniversary, we're having roadshows, we're having a yearbook as well. But if we think a little bit further, we at Cisco, we're investing in technology, right? How do the initiatives that we do with NetAcad, how do they complement those investments?
That's a great question, Cedric. I run a program also called Country Digital Acceleration, or CDA. And CDA makes investments in technologies to help countries accelerate their national digital agendas. And right alongside those investments in technology, we make NetAcad investments, we make investments in education. Because if all you're doing is putting money into technology without training up, upskilling, reskilling that intellectual capital right alongside of it, you're throwing money down a technology black hole. You've got to have the people like yourself that went through Networking Academy, trained up and prepared to carry the maintenance, the installation, and the innovation around those technologies forward.
So you need technology, you need to invest in technology, but it's so important, as you said, to then invest in people as well who can then actually maintain that technology. So this is awesome. At Cisco, we care so much about our customers, about our partners, about our communities. We really want to empower an inclusive future for all. So how do we link that back, what you just mentioned, to our Cisco's brand and our purpose and so on?
Well, you know, what Wendy referenced yesterday, the skills gap, what she's referencing is a much larger issue, which is the digital divide. Right now, 45% of the world is not connected. So you and I are a member of the privileged class, the connected class. we have access to healthcare, access to education. And at Cisco we believe that being connected is a fundamental human right. It's directly linked to our purpose, to power an inclusive future for all. People believe that access to healthcare is a fundamental human right. Access to education is a fundamental human right. The way you're going to get access to healthcare and education moving forward, along with government services and everything else, is to be connected. So that is our charge. And in order for us to have those people come on and be really productive individuals in the digital age, they have to be trained up. So in combination of investments in technology, investments in education, we are fulfilling our purpose on the ground every single day.
Yeah, great. And we're truly the bridge to possible, right? Like, that's what we're going for. It's super busy over here. I heard people clapping as well while you're doing that, so we're all behind you, Guy. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to throw it over to a video with Jonathan Davidson and Steve.
Hi everyone, I am hanging out here in Studio B with the intriguing Jonathan Davidson. You will always be known as the intriguing Jonathan Davidson from now on. Just so you know, thanks to Liz and Tony, you're done, you're set. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here with you, Steve. And I can tell you, the intriguing thing, for those who didn't see the keynote, that's how Liz introduced me. And unfortunately, Liz has given me lots of nicknames that have stuck. And I don't know how to feel about it, honestly.
Intriguing is good, though. And you even said yesterday, it's like, I'm not sure anybody's called me intriguing before, but I like it. We don't normally get that. The inspirational, the exciting, the wonderful, the intriguing.
The intriguing.
I think that's perfect. Well, welcome to Amsterdam. Thank you. As Executive VP and General Manager of Cisco Networking, I loved what I heard from you yesterday in the opening keynote. For me, it was so concrete. I think you've given the quote of the show so far. You said that we are creating a big, cozy blanket of unified experiences. I think I've heard you re-quoted 30 times in the past 24 hours, at least half of them by me. You shared so many great announcements under that big, cozy blanket. Give us a quick recap of the things that you announced in your section of the keynote.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for that. And this takes a village, of course, to be able to come up with not only the technology, so I get to represent all this great work from a lot of great engineering teams over many, many moons. And my communications leader actually came up with the big cozy blanket analogy, so kudos to Stephen for that.
Credit where credit is due.
Exactly. But it's true. That's really what our customers want. They want those unified experiences. So there's a few things that we announced. One, last summer at Cisco Live in the US, we talked about how we were extending the Meraki dashboard to go and include Secure Connect. So you can have a simple SASE solution attached to what many of our customers love, the Meraki dashboard. And so now we actually extended that and said, okay, no matter what SD-WAN solution you're using, if you're using our Viptela SD-WAN solution, you too can have access to this wonderful Secure Connect solution. And so that's going into early release now and will be GA in just a few months. So really excited about that. And it creates those unified experiences. How do I get consistency regardless of what type of technology I'm using inside of Cisco to connect my users and things to each other? You can now do that securely. So very exciting. We also talked about how we're continuing to invest in our cloud monitored Catalyst, and we're going to be moving more and more to a cloud managed Catalyst portfolio. We have seen tremendous feedback, a lot of positive feedback on what we're doing there. And then the last big thing, new thing that we announced was how we're extending our IoT operations dashboard to include visibility into all those devices that are on premise. So you can now do security assessments with that as well, so you can feel more secure. And I can tell you, when I go and I talk to our IoT customers, they are so excited about our IoT portfolio and what it means for them.
The story is so strong. Because our operations have got to scale so much more efficiently, right? We have to create that agility you were talking about. You mentioned we're a first mover for industrial transformation. You talked about connecting everything, drones, machinery, and so on. That speed, I think, is so quick at this point, incorporating the security part of it as well. I think you said yesterday the world was just waking up to smartphones 10 years ago. Imagine what we're going to look like 10 years from now. What are you seeing here at the show and in your own work that's really leading us to that inevitable future and that security embed that you just mentioned?
Yeah, well, having connectivity without security really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So that clearly resonates with everyone here at the show. But the Vincenzo, who actually was on the stage with me from Enel, I think he laid it out really well. The security, he's viewing the whole platform for how he's delivering power as his platform, and he knows that needs to be secure as well. What he also shared with me was some outstanding, hard to believe statistics that just in Italy, there's 440,000 substations providing energy just in Italy alone. There's also the EU government is putting billions of dollars into upgrading and digitalizing all of that infrastructure across all of Europe. And so a lot of customers and partners here at the show, they want our help. They need our help on how to go and make those transitions. And so we're really excited about what's happening and the opportunity in front of our customers to go through this and how we could potentially help them is driving a lot of really powerful conversations here.
It was such a great conversation. I love what Vincenzo said. I love what you were talking about with Ford, right? 100-year-old car company. Incredible transition. The vehicle is no longer just to get from point A to point B. Yeah. It's such a part of our lives, and it all relies on the network, right? I think that's so important. So I want to ask you one more important thing. You mentioned yesterday 3 billion around the planet remain unconnected, underserved. You talked about Cisco Silicon One being all in on simplifying IT across hybrid work to get us to that point. What are a couple of the ways that Cisco is transforming IT experiences right now?
Wow, there's quite a few. Well, so first, when you're talking about what can we do, I view that as our day job at Cisco is to go and help bring connectivity to those 3 billion people that are either underserved or unconnected. And so we need to do that by making technology simpler to access, more cost-effective to lower the total cost of operations. We need to be able to do that. And that's our day job. We have a lot of engineers. We're spending billions of dollars in R&D to go and make that happen. But also, when you think about what we're doing to actually get that technology out in the world, this is where Network Academy comes in.
Yes.
And we have to enable people to upskill, to better themselves, so that we can go and actually take this technology out into the planet. And that's something that's really exciting. I've shared this with others before, but my wife spent 2 years in the Peace Corps, living in a hut in Mali, Africa, so she knows what it's like to not have access to information. Now, back then, it was access to books and libraries, because there really was not a whole lot of prevalent internet going on back in the day. But if you fast forward that to today, we need to enable people to go and connect into this digital ecosystem so they can get access to great things like data and education. They can communicate with people that might be far away. And I can tell you, just bringing it to those in the U.S., I'm the executive sponsor for the Native American Network, ERO, at Cisco. And so I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of people who are Native Americans. And in talking to one of the advocates, they explained how they were writing letters to their grandmother, and I'm like, oh, what a lost art form! How great that is that you're writing letters to your grandmother. And she goes, no, like there's no other way to communicate with my grandmother. There's no phone, there's no internet, and that's in the United States. So people, when they think about this, they think about, oh, it must be a third world country somewhere that doesn't have access to this. It's everywhere. And we have such a critical role that we do play and we can play to go and help close the digital divide.
Fantastic. Great story as well. Jonathan, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be able to sit down and get a few minutes with you in your busy environment here at the show. So thanks for stopping into the studio.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you for joining us. Man, I really enjoyed that conversation with Jonathan. He is such a great advocate for Cisco and such a great voice for the company. You know, Cedric, it's really all about technology here at Cisco Live, which is fantastic. It's about sustainability, it's about net zero goals, it's about making hybrid work better, but ultimately behind every single bit of it, it's about the people, right? Cisco
Absolutely.
is a human-first company. We are dedicated to positively impacting 1 billion people by 2025. So what I want to do is meet a few of those fabulous people right now, and let's watch them make that target a reality today and every day. Check it out.
A huge welcome to all of you to Cisco Live EMEA. When we come together, we can achieve incredible things. Together, we are building an inclusive and sustainable future for all. And I know that we are all in.
We are all about technology. We're the world's best technology company. Great. But the technology we produce here at Cisco, it only makes sense if it also supports and empowers the people who use it. Your people at home, your people at the office, your people anywhere, and the people here at Cisco Live this week here in Amsterdam. And I want to go find some of those people. Come on with me. Let's go. How many Cisco Lives have you done up until this point?
I've been to about 14.
You're almost a triple net vet here at this point. You realize that, right?
Yeah, well.
Congratulations.
This is my first Cisco Live.
This is not your first Cisco Live.
It's my first Cisco Live.
Isabella, it's your first Cisco Live? Oh, that's so great. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Paris.
I could tell by the accent. Paris as well?
Paris, France, yes.
One of my favorite places in the world. How many Cisco Lives have each of you been to?
It's the fourth.
This is your fourth one?
Yeah.
And
Fourth one as well.
This is my first.
this is your first Cisco Live? Yes. What made you want to come to the show this year?
Actually, I was encouraged, I was told by my company, by my friends, that this is a very exciting opportunity for engineers, for developers, for anybody who likes technology.
What are you looking most forward to here at the show this week?
For Cisco ACI,
Yeah.
yeah, and DNA. For the community, for the people here.
For me, I'm waiting for the breakout sessions, but the show here is pretty nice.
You never have the chance to get so much information.
It's the connections you can have. You can't have those anywhere else. It's getting here in person, connecting with people, like-minded network engineers, people in the same IT fields, pushing the boundaries of what tech can do today.
What's your thoughts so far?
It's been amazing. This is the first day and so many days to come, and it's exciting.
I love that so much. I hope we will see you many, many times throughout the course of the week. Do me a favor, come back and visit us over here in the studio.
Okay, yes, I will, definitely, I will.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you, absolutely.
Thank you. Oh, that last gentleman, I loved him so much. I just wanted to take him home and or have him here in the studio with us the entire time. He's just delightful. You talked to some amazing people as well out here, right, Cedric?
I did. You could take me home if you wanted to.
Well, all right, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I did. It was great. It's just great to see how much fun people are having here at Cisco Live. I can hear people clapping all over the time. But you know what? I want to know what Nish and Rob are up to. So where are you guys?
Hello.
Are they lost?
Oh, hey guys. No, we're not lost at all. In fact, we should be coming into your view here in just a moment. If we,
Where?
This, you mind if I do this? We'll just look
Go
over
for it,
here.
please.
I think we'd be over your right shoulder, I believe, based on where you
can
are
see
in
you
the
guys.
studio. Oh, there we go. Just had to get around the.
Friends. friends.
Just get around the lift. Look at that. Oh, look at that. You look so little. I feel like we could just go, oh, I could squish them. All right?
Squish them. They look so tiny.
So tiny. I
Hey,
see Cedric.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, guys. So the air is better up here, as it turns out. Are we talking to you? Yeah? Oh, okay, good.
So, Rob, tell me, because we've just been walking and talking, and you had a funny story earlier to tell me about your walk in.
Oh, well, it was it was kind of a question and such. So, in my walk over here this morning, it was reminded as we were walking here, it was dark as we're coming here early this morning, and I stepped off and just barely missed getting run over by this convoy of bicycles that I didn't really hear coming, and it just dawned on me that maybe that's just something I'm not used to. What did you ask me?
Because I asked you if you were walking through the middle of a cycle lane, and you said, yes, I think so. And I thought, it's not that unsurprising to hear.
Well, see, that's the idea, is that cycle lanes. I'm not used to cycle lanes. I'm sure, Cedric, you're probably very used to cycle lanes.
I am. Yeah, I love cycling, Rob. But I can definitely see that happening. Like, I'm just having the image in front of me of you on a cycle lane, and it just makes me laugh.
I have to jump in on this as well. Every time I'm in Amsterdam, this is just my special gift. I feel like I have to look left and right about 37 times when I cross the block.
Right?
I've got the pedestrians, then the cycles, and first line of cars, second set of pedestrians, another line of cars, another set of bicycles, and I'm usually dead by the time I reach the other side. It's not pretty.
Steve, but what you do, what I run into as well, is the whole notion of, okay, are we in a place where they drive on the right side of the road or the left side of the road? Because when we're in the London area where Cedric and Nish are, I have all my instincts are just wrong
That's what
for the
happens
which
to me
way to
here.
turn.
I'm looking the wrong way, going one way, and then looking the wrong way.
That happens to you in America.
Yeah, because we're on the other side of the road.
Or
in
even
the UK.
here.
Yeah.
This is the most fascinating conversation I think we've ever had here on set in this show. Guys, here's what I want to do. I want to get your perspectives. We're down low. We're in mixed with everybody. What does it look like from all the way up here on the top ramp? Give us the big picture view.
Nish, I'll let you start.
Okay, well, we have so much going on here. We're at the hub. So you can see we've obviously gone to our Cisco TV studio. That's where our wonderful co-hosts and crew are. Along from that, we have the Cisco Insider area. We've taken you there yesterday. We had an interview with the lead of Cisco Insider and our advocates program and our user research and user groups. We're opposite the DevNet zone, so that's where Cisco's community of developers is hanging out. Obviously, we've got the Cisco Secure booth. We focused on security today. Lots of great coffee there if you haven't been there. And then if you just take a look down here, the Cisco store. Rob, this is one of your favorite parts.
Well, yeah, no, there were several things I was wondering about, which I was just curious if the dressing rooms were fully enclosed, because I was realized there's kind of an area. It is. There's nothing there whatsoever. But yeah, it's a good view. It's nice to be above the melee. Studio, we'll go back to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Rob, Nish. I appreciate it. Keep getting those great perspectives from out there. You know what, Cedric? You have spent almost the entire day over on the World of Solutions. We've got like a minute and change left in the broadcast. Yep. Not even that. Give me a 10-second hit. Favorite thing you saw today?
Favorite thing I saw today?
Yep.
That's a good question. Collaboration, right?
Collaboration.
Yeah, just that desk mini, I want to have one.
Huge. I love that.
All right. In my kitchen.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take back over for the end of it. On behalf of our entire Cisco TV team, we want to thank you so much for joining us here on the live stream. Keep interacting with us using hashtag Cisco Live EMEA. We are going to meet you right back here at the Rai tomorrow morning. We hope that you have a great night. Do not leave us behind 24 hours a day, all the way up through the closing keynote. You keep talking to us, we will keep talking to you. Take great care, everybody. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.